China economy strong, building strong economy for China. Hello everybody, once again this is Argent Templar as we continue to document the rise of the strongest economy on earth, China economy. Because as we all know, China economy strong, and there is nothing stronger on earth than China economy. So we're going to talk about the lengths to which the Chinese people will go to make sure economy strong. Part of this is killing off the weak and infirm and then using their bodies as fertilizer. Actually, I don't know if they do that. They probably do, though, because everything must be used to make economy strong, and nitrogen in body increase GDP growth. Crop yields go up when used for fertilizer. So, I mean, that's like the efficiency of China. The air pollution kills 4,000 people a day, and they probably use the bodies as fertilizer or something. A new study has found that China's air pollution is killing approximately 4,000 people every day. It accounts for 1 in 6 premature deaths in the world's most populous country. Even worse, China's pollution is blowing into the western U.S. China pollution super weapon used against America. Take down America without war through air pollution and wind. Even wind bend will to China. China. Yeah, so the Chinese have created a super weapon. They've turned their country into a giant gas bomb and are relying on wind to take this to the west coast of the United States. Now, some might say, if this is being blown and dispersed over thousands of miles, wouldn't it be much more concentrated in China? That is true, but China economy is strong, so it can take it. The report released by Berkeley Earth on Thursday said that 48% of China population, the average air they breathe is unhealthy by U.S. standards. Yeah, that's an understatement. American have weak constitution, not strong like China man and China economy, or something like that. In China, an estimated 1.6 million people die every year from heart, lung, and stroke problems related to air pollution. Well, that saves the state like medical costs. Because if these people were dying, it's probably because they were sick. I mean, that's why people normally die. There's something wrong with them, or this is China, so someone hits them with a car and then backs up over them. But that's another story. So it saves state medical care costs, which increase GDP growth, because in America, large percentage of economy used to treat the sick. In China, we don't treat sick. We let them die. Yeah, so researchers found the highest concentrations of polluted air are in Beijing, I can't pronounce that, and Tangshan in northeastern China. Lead author Robert Rhodes said it's a very big number. It's a little hard to wrap your mind around the numbers. Can't wrap mind around pollution, cause that's how strong China economy is. It's true. You can't fathom how strong China economy is, or how strong China air pollution is. Interestingly, the research found that the air pollution in Beijing originated from other industrial areas outside the capital, particularly one 200 miles southwest of the city. Holy shit. The information could have implications for improving air quality in time for China's 2022 Winter Olympics. And you know why they have to improve the air quality? Because the Olympics are, well, the Olympics, this is China moment. China moment. This is China moment to shine. China win Olympic bid. China athletes used to toxic fumes. Other athletes can't breathe. So that's China's plan, is that their own athletes will be used, or their lungs will just be so heavily scarred it doesn't hurt anymore. And the other athletes will die because they have not become accustomed to breathing the most fucking polluted air on Earth. Air pollution is the greatest environmental disaster in the world today. No shit. When I was last at Beijing, pollution was at the hazardous level. Every hour of exposure reduced my life expectancy by 20 minutes. So that reduces your lifespan by like 33%. So if the average life expectancy is, let's just say, 80 for simplicity's sake, that would reduce your life expectancy by like 27 years if you lived your whole life in Beijing. Holy shit, that's older than I am. Okay, let's see here. It's the equivalent of every person smoking 1.5 cigarettes every hour. I don't even know if chain smokers smoke that much. And that is what China economy strong really looks like. Elizabeth Mueller, executive director of Berkeley Earth, says it's troubling that the health effects are not taken more seriously by major environmental organizations in Europe and okay, yeah, so why aren't they taken seriously? Oh, we all know the reason. It's because China not white man. China have no white guilt. China have no shame. China cannot be bullied. Cause all China care about is strong economy. Economy. I mean, like, that's literally what it is, breaking character for a minute. If China was a white country, they'd care, but they don't care because environmentalism isn't actually about the environment. Environmentalism is about social justice warrior left wing talking points. Sorry, I'm breaking character here. I would actually kind of be a bit of a green if the green movement wasn't just full of leftists who didn't actually care about the environment. I'm all for trying to deal with pollution. I'm for renewable energy and stuff like that, but they don't really seem to care that much about it. Air pollution rides the wind straight to the west coast of North America. China ultimate weapon, stronger than nuclear missile. China destroy Earth environment. That's basically the Chinese have built a super weapon through their own incompetence and corruption that will destroy the planet. In the last few years, the U.S. has been able to cut air pollution levels, sometimes to a significant level, of course, because as much as people like to hate on Western countries, the environmental standards in Western countries are incomparably higher than the rest of the world. Like where I live, we have trees all over the place. We have grass, we have like protected land, we have forests, we have national parks, we have provincial parks. Even in like Toronto, which is a very densely urbanized area, we have parks and trees all over the place. Um, there is obviously pollution, but generally speaking, there's very rarely toxic waste or oil spills or anything. Uh, countries really like aside from CO2, and the reason they focus on CO2 is because really the only form of pollution developed countries do. But in terms of like actual real pollution, that's not bullshit. Like actual toxic chemicals that hurt people. First world countries have largely dramatically cut that in the last couple of years. The lowest level of the atmosphere actually rose 7% over China. The study found China pollution has offset by about a half efforts at reducing pollution on the U.S. West Coast. So basically, California and America implemented stronger pollution standards. Whether or not those were all wise, I don't know. But they did cut air pollution, and that's probably a good thing, especially considering how bad the smog is on the West Coast. So that probably needed to be done. But it didn't really matter because half of their extraordinary efforts are offset by stuff blowing in from China. Of course, we all know that ozone pollution can cause a whole mess of respiratory problems. Not in China! especially in the elderly and children. Data from the EPA in 2010 puts the number of deaths related to air pollution in the U.S. at 63 to 88,000 yearly, according to The Guardian. WHO says that air pollution is about 7 million annually. I know some people don't like these organizations. I don't really like them much either. But if that's even somewhat accurate, that is a problem that has to be addressed. I know there's particularly a lot of center right guys like we can't deal with the environment. I don't know. I think we have. There's a jet stream that travels from China to North America, and the west coast is being destroyed. But it's our fault for exporting our industry to China. It's not the Chinese government's fault. It's not the Chinese society's fault. Nope, it's our fault. And to some extent, they're right, but at the same time, no one made China uh, make economy strong. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm bringing character too much on this, but this kind of is just like, what can you even say? It's kind of depressing actually. Anyways, guys, that's China economy strong. China air pollution apparently very strong, and China export cheap crap and air pollution to make economy strong. And as always, we will sing you out with "This is China moment, China moment. This is China moment to shine."